Welcome to the NPS channel, students. Welcome to the part 2 of terms, concept and their use in sociology. Today we are going to discuss about the status and role. What basically status mean and what basically role in living society we are going to do. The two concepts of status and role are from here the twin concept. A status is a simple position in a society or in a group. Every society we basically have seen, every group's individual occupies many such positions. But somehow also we can see in few things. Status, whether refers of the other social positions with define the rights of the duties assigned, or particularly we have noticed some things or the certain responsibilities and the prerogative. A role as a dynamic or the behavioral aspects means some commandments like you are a daughter of your father, you are a daughter of your mother, sister of your brother. But particularly if you are not playing your dynamic role for being a daughter or sister, then particularly in societies you are not a functionalist person, as per Durkheim's wants to say that particular thing. So in living society, every society has a group and has many such positions, and each individuals in modern complex society such occupies many different kinds of status in basically our life. So as per that, we sometimes set our status and status sequence. Status sequence also are there. So what basically in a modern society an individual occupies a multiple status, which is sociologically termed as status set. And on the other hand, we have definitely seen that what is basically status consequences. It refers to the status attained in a succession or sequence at a various stage of life. For example, son becomes father, a grandfather, or so on. Like I'm going to show you from here, status has two types from this area, like a ascribed status and one is achieved status. So as per that, I'm going to show you from my PPT, and then I guess you're about to guess what is ascribed and achieved status. Ascribed status is basically assigned according to the qualities beyond a person's control. They are based on a person's inherited traits or on the assigned automatically when person reaches certain age. You hold the status of a teenager or young adult because of your age. Other examples, your age, race, family, heritage. So as per that, it is a social position which the person occupies because of birth, assumes and involuntarily age, caste, class, kinship, blood relation basis and simple tradition. Societies are marked by ascribed status, which difficult to change the status, and the most common basis for ascribed status is our age, caste, race and kinship. And what is achieved status? It refers to the social position that the person occupies voluntarily, but the personal ability to achieve virtues and the choice of educational qualification, income, professional expertise, and modern societies are characterized by the achieved status, which is often associated with the prestige. So as per that, achieved status individuals acquire this through their own direct efforts. These efforts include special skills, knowledge or abilities. People have control over their achieved status, and this can include husband or wife, parent, high school graduate or athlete also. So as per this also, we definitely say, if we living in our status, we kind of play a dynamic role or dynamic form of interaction, then we played a role. So as per that, we are how we are playing our role. A hypothetical status set is there. A role refers to the specific function that the person is expected to perform in social group. Means you are the particular someone's daughters, students from any institution, worker from any work profession, church member, or any other kinds of member from other religious group, citizens from a nation, resident from your society or the neighbor area, mother particularly of your child, wife of your husband. So as per that, it is a dynamic or the behavioral aspect of status. Status occupied, but the roles are played. Status is the more or the role has become regularized and standardized. And basically, we definitely say it is also somehow the institutionalized also and formalized. So we can definitely see in many few beliefs, norms, and parenting things and prestigious things we have to follow. So as per that, a child learns to behave accordance with basically how her behavior will be seen or judged by the others. So as per that, there are two concepts of associated with the roles. They are discussed below. Now next is, from this side also we have definitely seen role conflictions are there. Now what is role confliction? It is incompatibility among the roles corresponding to one or more status. Yes, that's particular persons you can definitely see is she is a student, worker, church member, citizens, resident, mother, wife and daughter. So definitely we can take few common and also the role conflict types of matter like mother, wife, daughter and worker, that particular types of things, because it will create at the same time of portion conflict. So for the example, working women, you definitely seen from that aspects, working women very often find the personal role conflict with that mother and wife. Yes, if we're talking about the role conflict, somehow we have definitely seen that a working woman particularly, if we definitely have seen the role conflict thing, so we have definitely see a working woman or a working mother can't be good mother also, we have definitely see, and also not a good daughter as well as not a good wife. So as per that, you can definitely see this person feel very constrained about in society. Why? Because it is a commonplace to assumption that men do not face role conflict. Sociology, being both an empirical and the comparative discipline, suggest otherwise. The Khasi matrilineal, basically those are the matrilineal group we have seen, so generates intense role of conflict for men. They are born between their responsibilities to their natural household, and as well as we have seen the strain affects Khasi women more intensely. A woman can never be full assured that her husband does not find his sister house more congenial place to her own house. So as per that, how role strain and role conflicts are getting happen. You as a students do well, not make others look bad. Role strains are there. This is the conflict. Role conflict and role strain are the different thing. You as a students, you are the good students, you do well in any kind of subjects, but you have one things or one consciousness in your mind, not make others look bad. That is the role strains are there, but somehow whenever you perform well in that time, the second things automatically happen. So role strains are there. Next thing is a role conflict. What's role conflicts we are facing? Worker, student, son or daughter come in for the emergency. Worker, students study for exam, and also son or daughter visit mom in hospital or any other emergency happen. So if the deadline or the date time or the same, three things are the same, then role conflicts are happen. In that particular time you decide or you choose which is the more important. You have to play the dynamic role for your mother purpose, or your for the student purpose, or for the worker purpose. Which is the more important for you? Then you have to choose. That is the role confliction from here. Now we have seen that role stereotypeness are there. What are the stereotypeness role? Like in patriarchal society, basically role stereotypeness are there. For example, men, earning persons and the husbands, basically, and homemakers are the wife, particularly. We can see definitely from this aspects. So the social role and status often wrongly seen as fixed and changing, though the socialization individually particularly internalize social roles and learn how to carry them out and learn the expectations surround and social positions in their particular culture. This view, however mistaken, suggested and individually simply take on the roles rather than creating or the negotiating them. So in society we need to some social control as per that also. What types of controls we need to follow from here? We can definitely see from this side. We need to follow some social control thing, like the functionalist perspective way. Now what is social control from here? We can see the social control is one of the most generally used concept from this area. In sociology, it refers to the various means of used by the society by the reluctant and unruly members back into the line. Yes, what basically we should have followed to in this area, like functionalist perspective. Functionalist perspective to the social, the use of force of regulate behavior and individual and groupings also refers to the enforcing value and the patterns for the maintaining order in society. Social control here direct or the restrain deviant behavior or of individual or also the groups on the one hand, and on the other hand to migrate tension conflicts among the individual groups to maintain social order and social cohesions. So one more thing is here, the conflict sociologist or the conflict theorist, it's usually would see that social control more the as a mechanism as well as imposed to the common dominant social classes in the society, and stability would also writ of the one section over the other. Likewise, law would be seen formal writ of the powerful and interest on societies are there. Next is the social control refers to the social process or the techniques and strategies by a group are the regulates, and it refers both the use of force and regulates behavior individuals and groups we have seen. Now next is forms of social control. How we can control like few crimes or few like gender bias things in our society. It's controlled by in two format: formal social control and informal social control. Formal and informal social control. What are the formal social control? When the confined and systematic the formal mechanism control is used to formal social control. Law state of the main agency's mechanism of social control. What are the informals? It is the personal, unofficial, uncodified from form of control like body language, making faces for like in our household, as well as sometimes we definitely seen in from our childhood. Our mothers somehow for their stare glance basis control us. That is called the informal control, social control. So however, some cases informal methods of social control not be adequate in enforcing conformity, so or the obedience purpose. Family, religion, kinship are the various agencies where we can use the informal social control, but somehow definitely we have seen that is not enough. Side we have seen that these types of things that happen. Man kills sisters for marrying from the outside or the intercaste marriage purpose. This is called the honor killing thing or the violence thing. Why? Because she marry a different particular other caste member. That's why man kills his sister. The oldest means of the social control is the physical violence. Even the polity of the operate societies of the modern democracy, no state can exist without the police force and equivalent to the armed mights. Yes, that particular thing. Somehow informally we can't control particularly few community members their angers. So somehow the honor killing or that violence basis crime happen. So that's basis the man kills sister for marrying the other community members. So as per that, police or the formal social control need to happen or need to implemented. So in any functioning society, violence is basically economically or the resort it may threat to the ultimate the violence suffering to the day-to-day exercising of the social control. Now next we are discussing here last thing, which is the termed associated with the social control. Few things I have to discuss with here. The terms basically which are really related to the social controls. Terms related social control from this side. One is sanction. First is the sanction. What is the sanction here? A sanction is a mode of reward or the punishment that the reinforce socially or expected form of behavior. Sanction may both the positive and the negative. When the members of the societies can be rewarded for good and expected behavior, it is collected the positive sanction. On the other hand, negative sanction is used to enforce the rules to do restrain deviance. Like for the examples, particularly those who are promoting negative vibes, for them also we have definitely seen few things that particular person is wanted. If you find that particular persons from the policeman side, you can get 10,000 or 20,000 rupees as per the reward purpose. So if that particular crime mentality or sociopath persons find it that other persons, those who really indulged with himself the crime, so they particular on that time do the sanction thing. Next thing is deviance. Now what is deviance meaning here? It is a refer of modes of action which do not follow the norms or values followed by the most of the members of a group of society. The ideas of deviance are challenged or they change form of the period to another. For example, a woman choosing become to an astronaut may be considered deviant at one time, praised at the another time, even in the same society. So basically what are the deviants? Like society wise that concept is changed. Like if a woman wants to pursue aeronautical engineer, on that basis somehow the middle class family members throw shade on her. Why? Because you are a woman, you should limit your particular dreams, but on the other hand those who have the life chances, they are saying that particularly you should follow your dreams. So that basically the main concept about the deviance. So hope you understand that particular chapter. Next session I will go through another chapter. Till now, see you soon. Take care of yourself. Thank you.